Here we are again, beautiful beings, on a live, the Illuminate live series. Yes. Please leave comments. That's what I'm just writing here. So who knows who this one is going to reach today? So just to grab you in these first moments, today we're going to look at the immature and mature qualities of the masculine pole, let's say. And I did mention this in another live, and somebody wrote to me they'd like to hear that. So I'm going to share a little bit on that today. Just a little nugget. So before we begin, let's just breathe together, because intentional breathing is one of the ways that I keep myself present and empowered and alive. So I teach you a quick one. It's called 20 Connected Breaths, one of my favorites. That's why I share it. Maybe you've done it before. If you have, great. If you're driving right now, please don't do this breathing. And make sure that if you do it, you're relaxed, you're grounded. And probably if this is the first time you're doing it, you definitely should be sat down with your feet on the ground and nice and relaxed. And before we do any intentional breathing practices, it's always beautiful just to take a moment to tune in and check in, where is your breath right now? And you do that by just taking a nice long inhale and an exhale, and then just allow yourself to be normal breathing. And then in that normal breathing, you'll be like, where's my breath? Is it high? Is it down in the base? Is it short? Am I feeling anxious? And this is a up-regulating breath. So this one, if you've never done it before, it could bring on some sense of nausea, or not nausea like you're going to be sick, but it can really, you're bringing a lot of oxygen into the brain. And if you don't do this regularly, it can really definitely fire you up. Yeah, so you might feel a little bit dizzy, or maybe you see some, those like little do. Not stars, but those, I call them just the cellular spaciousness. Hey, so 20 connected breaths. We breathe in through the nose and out the nose. So it looks like this, sounds like this. Simple, yeah? And then on the 5th breath, we take a deep breath in and release through the mouth. And then we do that 4 rounds of 5, and on the 20th breath, we take the breath right in and hold it in for 10, 15, depending on how advanced you are. You might want to hold it in a bit longer and then release. And then you can do this 20 connected breaths whenever you feel like a little boost, really. It's a breath boost. And I like to do it before training sometimes, before fitness, and before needing to sit down and concentrate. So many options. So 20 connected breaths. Exhale all your breath. Woo. Last round of 5. Here we go. Oh. Woo. Sha. Woo. Wow. I really needed that one. Could feel all these tingling sensations all the way up my neck into the back of my head. And I can feel the heat rising through my central of the body. Yeah. And it just starts to rain. Wow, it's a powerful breath. Start breathing that intentionally and it brings rain. What are the chances, huh? And see how it takes time, no? How long have I been on this live? Probably like almost 5 minutes. So taking a moment out of your day to really just breathe. Just stop and breathe. Or I like to start my mornings with breath. So start your day with like intentional breathing. There's many different practices out there. And actually when, we're live, right? I'm going to talk to you about these other things, about the immature, mature masculine. But also when we start to just drop into the present moment and we breathe and we come present, like this is it, right? This is it. This is it. This is the moment. This is the present moment. So whatever brings you into that presence, that's where the real joy is. That's where the playfulness is. Presence leads to play. Play leads to presence. In order to play in life, to truly play, you have to be present. If you look at a child when they're playing, they're not focusing on anything else. They're just present. Play is one of the most amazing ways that we become not only so present, but that's where we experience real joy in the present moment, playfulness. And this whole journey that I talk about, illumination, facing our shadows, looking at the pain body, what's it all about? So that we can release all the nonsense and the incessant thinking and the madness and the projections and the judgments and expectations and actually play, come back to play. When you awaken and you have a greater realization and greater perspectives, then life is a huge playground, an intimate playground. And that's got a little bit distorted now. It's like, you could say, all creation does is play with itself. Creation is playing with itself. So when we do self-pleasure practices, we do intentional breathing because it helps move the erotic energy around our bodies and also ignites and energizes the electromagnetic field of our Taurus energy. Exactly. Bruce Lee knew about the power of the Taurus energy. Trust me on that. That 1 inch punch, that was all about chi, power of chi. Anyway, there's lots of things and people talking about this stuff elsewhere, out there. Lots of people selling this chi. No, it's funny, no? We sell chi. How to connect to your chi. It's who we are, right? We are life force. We are creation. So with that in mind, who's watching? Give me some little heads up. Who's here? Manya Fabrice. Hey. Are you still there? Lovely. And Manya. Not sure I know who Manya is, but welcome. If you have a question or you want to ask something, feel free. It's going to be here another 10 minutes or so. So one of the hot topics at the moment in the world, no? Everyone's talking about the masculine, feminine polarities. Lots of people making lots of money about this, no? It's masculine, feminine. What is masculine, feminine? How can we learn about masculine, feminine? And it's actually a very interesting topic. So I found it very interesting myself. Don't like to get too caught up on all of the semantics because it can start going into a whole realm. But it's nice to get a taste of what's going on inside us in terms of our behaviors and our personality traits. and aspects that we've accumulated through our beliefs of the past and behaviors we've copied from other people that we've either aspired to be or that we've grown up with. And also looking at our qualities, these qualities in our parents, no, and in our peers and our caretakers. So today I just want to share not an extensive list, and we're also not going fully into the light and the dark aspects. So we have the masculine and feminine pole, the yin and yang, I like to look at it as, yeah? And so when we're in wholeness, when we realize our wholeness again, then we kind of have this nice coherence and balance of the masculine and the feminine within us, yeah? That's what we're kind of playing with. And then when we're out of balance, we're out of coherence, we become diseased, we become toxic, we become in the shadowland, as I like to describe it. And one question I have, do any of you know about The Wheel of Consent by Betty Martin? It's another beautiful body of work. I'm exploring it slowly over the last few years and know a little bit, but it just opened me up to a whole world of how we can communicate and connect and intimately engage and not be in the shadows, but be in consent. Whenever we're out of consent, we're in the shadows. And that kind of leads in beautifully to what I'm talking about in terms of masculine and feminine poles. Because when they're out of balance as well, we start to go into the immature aspects of those polarities and we go into the shadow aspects. So then we're kind of, you could say, out of consent with ourselves. That's how I would describe it. So I originally picked up this little list from a man, what is his name? He's in the sexuality and body work. Andrew Barnes. Andrew Barnes, I originally found this some years ago. There's, bless him, he's out there doing his thing, and I know there's some controversy about him. I hope it's not too dark. But I love this. I love this list. It really helped me. So I'm just going to show it you here. It's like masculine and feminine polarities. And there's the immature masculine, the immature feminine, and then the mature masculine and the mature feminine. And as I said, this is not an extensive list. And then when you start to go into the dark and light, which is another area that I'm exploring, which is amazing, you get other aspects that you can catch in your own personality. So you have the light masculine, the dark masculine, and the light feminine and the dark feminine. And just for anybody listening, dark, we get confused sometimes. There's nothing wrong with dark. Dark is not the shadow. There's shadow of the light and there's shadow of the dark. Toxicity and immaturity of the light and toxicity and immaturity of the dark. Dark is matter, it's density, it's the, the primal grounding of who we are. Yeah, and light is the light. It's that when we're more, let's say, a little bit more esoteric, or some people would say spiritual, or we're more illuminated, yeah? But you need the dark and the light to be whole. You need the dark and the light to be this full bright. You don't want to just be one or the other, because then you're out of balance, you're imbalanced. And that can sometimes cause judgments and all this other stuff inside yourself. It's always about inside ourselves. And so that's why I'm doing this Illuminate series and also this Illuminate 5-week dive, because we want to go into ourselves. We transform from the inside out. So we go inside to explore these different parts of ourselves. And we don't have to judge others. We don't have to say they're this or that. We just go inside ourselves and what do we need to face? What do we need to feel? And what do we need to heal? Then we take full responsibility for who we are. And by taking full responsibility of who we are, we become sovereign, because we're not relying on anybody outside of ourselves to dictate who we are, who we're not. Makes sense, no? It's easier, actually. Hey, Corinne. Another friend, Corinne. I have two, Corinna and Corinne. So today we want to just look at I'm just going to read them out. And if you'd like this, if you watch this video and you'd like this, just ask me and I'll send it to you. It's everything is a gift, right? We're just sharing stuff. It's not like you need this extensive list, otherwise you're not whole and complete. If you don't know what I know, then you are not going to be who you already are. You see the madness in that? Everything is a gift. If we all just give freely and share, everybody would be supported. When we hold back and think this is our information, we design, it must be mine, then we restrict it and we hold back. And whenever we're holding back, we're not free. So I want to share everything. Love is free. Love shares everything, no? Love is sharing. And that's no problem to those that create stuff and, there's paywalls and education journeys, and it's all cool. I'm not putting that down, but I just feel that we can transcend that at some point. Yeah. So if you want this, just write to me. I'll send it to you. So the immature masculine, and this is the masculine inside each of us. Doesn't matter if you're in a female-bodied being or a male-bodied being. We each of us have masculine and feminine qualities. Traits, tendencies. That's all we're looking at here. We're looking at behavior. This is all about behaviors. So the immature masculine is a show-off, an exhibitionist, is ejaculation-oriented, looking for the end result, looking for the goal, is very often cut off from their feelings. And there's a documentary that's just come out, my friend told me yesterday, just talking about this, how the patriarchal indoctrination of men, male-bodied beings, has been implemented into our culture. Very distorted, we human beings. But, we're working on it. So we're disconnected. The immature masculine can be disconnected, self-centered, hierarchical. Do you notice that when you're triggered in your pain body and you start acting out these patterns? Dominating, authoritative, destructive, controlling. Oh, I don't like it when I fall into that controlling being. Wants to control everyone and everything. Been there a lot of times. It still comes back sometimes. Now I'm like, oh, there it is. But the more awareness you have, you catch it sooner, no? Sorry, am I trying to control it? Sorry, yeah, I apologize. You catch yourself. Aggressive. Oh, any of you been aggressive? Subtle aggression as well, yeah? Aggressiveness to yourself internally. Aggressive words, putting yourself down. And of course, physical aggression too. But then how do you react? How do you overreact to others? Or how do you react to others? Is it aggressive? I was aggressive a couple of weeks ago to the beautiful being I'm partnering with. And, she had to say, hey, I don't like that. It's very aggressive. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. And I apologize. And then I follow the thread back why I'm so aggressive. And it was building up for 3 days before. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't moving my emotions fully. I was caught up in my own density. I was rigid. And then I became aggressive. There they go, armored. I just said rigid. I was armored, And then the ego-driven entity gets life. It's all about me. Me. My world, my reality. Why aren't I getting what I want? And then my pain body gets triggered. It's stubborn. Any of you relate? Come on, show of hands. I don't even know who's out there. Stubbornness. Oh, sometimes I look at my family and reflections and I'm like, oh, he's so stubborn. And I'm like, oh, I'm so stubborn. And I look at me and I go, oh, it's such an awful feeling in my chest and solar plexus when I'm being stubborn. And the pain body's out. So, armored up, dogmatic, avoidance, avoiding situations and avoiding feeling. Cheating, yes, I was a cheat. Cheat on myself and cheat on others. A charmer, charming. Do you think I'm charming? Am I charming? Am I charming you today to manipulate you into coming on my 5-week online journey? Because if you like what I'm sharing, you want to come and hang out with me because I know things you don't know. You like that? Does it feel good in your being? Do you feel charmed? Does it feel authentic when you're being charmed? Is there hidden qualities underneath that really we want to get something? Yeah, And I do want you to come on this 5-week journey. I am sharing content for that reason. And I do want to generate money from that content, of course. And I want to give my gifts to support humans, support myself, so we can rise up out of so much of this immaturity and toxicity and violence and all the behavior that comes from that. Bullying, was I a bully? Yes, I bullied and bullied myself and noticed that I still do sometimes, still bully myself. Subtle, very subtle. It gets more and more subtle, no? And what does the bully want? Love and connection. Just wants love and connection. Reckless. Ooh. Ho, 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 ho. Ah! Have I been reckless? Ooh. I'd like to say no. That would be a lie. Cut off from my feelings, pushy and weak. You must come on my online program, otherwise you will not be awakened. Weak, yeah. Yes, weak and being able to hide the weakness with a great superficial facade. Do you know anybody that does that? We're all great actors. I studied acting for many years. First in the amateur theatre and then through film and television and different workshops and so on. And we're all great actors. Once you go in the acting realm and you go into like theatre and stuff, you just realise, wow, this is really, Shakespeare was right. It really is all a stage. And we are mere peasants, actors in this great theatre of life. So the immature masculine, okay, controls the external environment in order to avoid feeling. Tries to control the external environment in order to avoid feeling. Because if we feel, if that immature masculine feels, then it's gonna be grief and sadness, and that's scary. But if we can control what's going on outside of us, control the world, control our relationships, control everybody else, then we feel safe. And that's an illusion. It's delusion as well. It's not true. It's so much better when we give up the need to control and just go, you know what, I don't know. And then just let the tears come. It's okay. I'm not in control. I can't control any of this. There's a greater intelligence controlling this. And I can take choices. I can make decisions based on what I'm experiencing. And I can claim back that level of conscious choice, but that moves us into a mature masculine. Okay? So I'm only giving you a little piece of this today just because of the timing. Because when I share this normally, we have hours and could do a whole workshop on this. And maybe I should actually. Maybe do a little online journey if you're interested, tell me. Because we could just come together on Zoom and break these down more. It's very juicy. And we're not even touching, as I said before, the dark and light aspects. So that's the immature masculine. And then the mature masculine, so the thing is this weaves into the feminine, right? So you really have to know your immature feminine. Because when you know your immature feminine, you start to see how the immature feminine is having a relationship with the immature masculine inside of us. Then we have the inner child having a relationship with our inner children in the others. And then we have the dark and the light masculine poles playing out. And then we have the so-called adult self, yeah? So we've got the inner child, the adult self. We've got the immature masculine feminine. We've got the light and dark playing out. And then we go into relationship thinking we know what we're doing. It's wild, no? I wonder there's so much suffering and people can't communicate their truth and they don't know how to say what they're really thinking and feeling and they can't be transparent because it's too scary or too vulnerable. It's like, it makes sense, no? That's why we have to be a bit gentle with ourselves. You know? Give ourselves a little stroke, yeah? It's okay. We don't know so much. It's okay. We're learning. We're just the world may be collapsing. Who knows? But we're just a young species learning, constantly learning. Learning to be able to love ourselves more completely and remember our wholeness and just be okay. This is not about judging ourselves. It's just going, yeah. Why am I like that? Why do I get so self-centered? Why? And all paths lead to us feeling unloved. All paths lead to that. everything leads to some aspect of fear, a false story, false evidence appearing real. When I do one-on-one work or group work, it's always the same. We go follow the path. I see the thread. I follow the thread. Oh yeah, you're there. Oh, you had that experience. You did that. Okay, but was you that? Was you scared there? Did your mum, dad do that? Oh yeah, and you were scared, yeah? Oh yeah. So what happened when you were scared? You did this, this, and this, and then you had to protect yourself, and then you did this, which is amazing, right? Your pain body helped you survive, but now you don't need these qualities. You don't need them now because you've survived, you're safe, you're here, you can hold yourself. So then you can step into the mature part of yourself, the embodied part of yourself. Yeah? Can you see that? It's really beautiful. You start to see, yeah, I can take responsibility to move through that now. I've overcome that part of myself. I don't need to play this game out anymore with myself and others. So I can be more mature. I can take responsibility for how I'm feeling. I can share my feelings. I can communicate my boundaries. Now I know what it's like to feel more mature, more embodied. I don't need outside people to validate me. Yeah? So much, no? It's so beautiful. So I'm going to read through the mature masculine, because today was about the mature, and tomorrow we can do about the female qualities, the feminine qualities. Not female, the feminine. So we'll do that. Yeah, let's do that. And then maybe we can weave them together. Yeah, I'm going with the flow. So, the mature masculine holds presence, yeah? Holds presence and a clear space, yeah? That's really key. So it's holding space for presence. And for feeling. Yeah? And so on here it says, clear presence, holding space for feeling. So the mature masculine feels and has empathy and can really give space, especially from, there's many complexities here, but let's just go in kind of heteronormative dynamics when there's a male body being and a female body being. So often I get told from the female body beings that the man, I get told horrible stuff. If you're a man listening to this, please stop this. And I'm not saying I did this, so I do, but please, can we stop this if you're listening to this video? If a woman is breaking down, if a female body being is breaking down emotionally, please don't run away. Don't leave them. Like I have been told numerous occasions that male-bodied beings have walked away. And it makes sense. I do understand. It makes sense when you go deeper into this. Because that male-bodied being was never told that feeling was allowed. And that feelings is bad and wrong. And so when they see somebody who's feeling, they don't know how to act. So they run away because they're scared, because they don't know how to say they're scared. So they think it's more mature to go, fuck her. She's too emotional. I'll leave her. She's too sensitive. This is part of the distortion of the patriarchal nonsense. Oh God, please. So we're working on all areas of this. It's okay if your female body being or anyone, even male or woman, is breaking down. It's okay. It's perfect. It's beautiful, in fact. It's erotic. It's orgasmic. It's wonderful to hold somebody in their emotional release as it transforms. It's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things you ever get to experience. But we've been told that it's not allowed. It's not right. Because we haven't got time. No time for this. No time for an emotional breakdown. We've got to get on and save the world. No, there's no saving the world. You've maybe destroying aspects of it with your nonsense, but... Okay, take a deep breath in. Tell me if this is landing. Who's listening? Is anybody out there? Are you out there? Are you out there, people? Is this landing? Sometimes people say, I have to break things down. People just post memes and quotes and stuff like that. Just the first part that I've read, you work on that for months. I've been working on this for years, and still I'm like, well, yeah, notice that part comes up. A 30-day quick fix here, beautiful people. Divine beings. I don't like that word people. People. What does people mean? Miracles you are. We're just playing. We're learning about ourselves. We're already miracles. Don't get caught up so much on this. Okay, I'm going to go through these now because I realize that time is, we have to finish. So, mature masculine. Clear presence, holding space for feeling. Action-oriented. Manages risk. Adventurous. Encouraging. Supportive. Constructive. Has foresight. Holds space, as I said earlier. Intentional. Clear. Focused. Conscious. Confident. But not confidence, like I said earlier. Remember, the charmer thinks it's confident. I'm charming. I'm Mr. Charming. I'm James Bond, 007, License to Thrill. Yeah, no. That's the bullshit. That's the unconscious. But the confident, visionary, that's like embodiment. Guiding, focused, I said already. Present, we've said as well, but just it's on the list. An enabler. I like this word enabler, enabling. It's beautiful, no? Enables yourself and enables others. And enables the feminine qualities in ourselves. Enables her. Trust, clarity, caring, strong and sensual. Strong and sensual. Male-bodied beings can be that too, sensuality. But remember, these are the masculine qualities in all of us. Doesn't matter what gender orientation you decide to call yourself or not. These are aspects, and it's not an extensive list. These are just aspects to get to know your personality traits, behaviors, and ways that you're showing up in your life with yourself or with your partners or your community or your family or wherever. You know, you get there. You get the drill. How about that? Tell me how this lands. Today, we just explored the immature and mature aspects of the masculine pole. And that masculine pole, when it's really in divine service, when it's got the light and the dark aspects in too, which there's another part that we can speak about another time. When all these come together and we're in our wholeness, the masculine, the male-bodied being, the masculine inside of us can also hold that point. For the female-bodied beings, the feminine qualities, the part of the yin-yang that has, the masculine is the little dot inside and the feminine is outside, then it can feel trust. And that part of us can go out there and express itself in spontaneity and all the other stuff we will talk about in the other video. And it can express itself creatively and it can feel empowered and strong. And then we can receive unconditional love and we can receive guidance. And we're in service, you see. The male-bodied being and the masculine qualities are in service. It's very beautiful. But it's a practice. It's not always so easy. I don't always get it right. There is no right and wrong, but I'm practicing. I'm a conditioned, very deeply conditioned being. Lots of subconscious programs from the domestication that, I'm cleaning. Give me a little message in the comments, please, if this has inspired you. It helps for the algorithms. That's the only reason I ask. I wish this just went out to whoever needed it, but it doesn't work like that. And so sharing is amazing. Commenting, liking, all that jazz just helps the algorithm. And then maybe somebody receives this today that really needs it. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? And maybe somebody who listens to this does come on. Journey is with me for 5 weeks where you'll get to uncover more of these aspects of yourself as we dive into the pain body. And the pain body loves to play in the immature space. The pain body loves to play in the toxic shadows. But remember, the pain body just wants love. We're not demonizing the pain body. We're not putting the pain body down saying, I'm in the light and you're in the dark. No, the light and the dark are needed, both. We're just uncovering the shadow aspects, the parts of us we cannot see. And we bring them into loving light, loving awareness. That is the loving light. Yeah? And the loving dark is also empowerment. So it's the love is full of light and dark. And we bring that in together. It's little distinctions, but they're important, no? Otherwise, it just feels like, it's all love and light, it's all love and light. No, it's love and dark. It's love and dark as well, you know? It's got to be sharp. Cut that crap. Stop that nonsense. That's also the divine feminine, yeah? Enough with this. Sharp. Let's move on. You know? Let's pick each other up. Let's look at this nonsense and then make a sovereign response and a responsibility. Yeah? So that's dark love. Enough, no more is dark love. Yeah? No or yes. But a no is a powerful yes. Anyway, I digress. I must leave this, whatever this is, this space. I must move on to the next space. Where is that? I don't know. It's all in the same space. Don't get me going. Deep breath in. Sending your love. Keep shining, sharing your gifts. Thanks for tuning in.